Michael Morales Torres en directo para Lucha Libre Online y El Calce, junto a mí, Pedro Vega, en directo también desde Lucha Libre Online y El Calce, junto a nosotros los actuales y flamantes campeones mundiales en parejas de TNA Wrestling, Eddie Edwards, Bryan Myers, The System, llegan aquí a la casa, señoras y señores. Muchachos, gentlemen, how are you doing today?
What's up,
Doing
man?
good. Thanks for having us.
Man, we are thrilled to have you. A lot of things have been happening as of lately in TNA. The first one is the system. We never expected this mix of having two pro veterans inside the wrestling ring that has basically won everything inside the industry, just as you two, pair up with a former NFL player in Moose and as well Miss Alicia Edwards being added to the equation. Whose idea was this? Who contacted who first? It was Moose calling you guys. How did this operated?
Moose is a caller, so
He's calling everybody. Go ahead, Brian.
yeah, so it just kind of was a real life thing that's kind of spilled onto the screen.
Oh,
And then I think the last straw was towards the end of the year last year, we were all kind of sitting around catering, and I think Tommy Dreamer overheard us kind of collaborating about how cool it would be if we were all, one group. And it's been pretty awesome, to see that play out, and you get to, work with your best friends and do what you love. It kind of, I think, like I said, it plays out on screen. It shines through how much fun we're all having.
man, that's brilliant. You guys, or at least Brian, is a huge fan of action figures as well. You have a podcast about it, and Pedro has a question about action figures and TNA debuting a new line, actually.
Oh,
We had seen the new TNA collectibles figures now in PowertownWrestling.com. We have two of the system guys in the first season. That's Eddie Edwards and Moose. How does it feel like being the first time and an action figure? And can we see Bryan Myers in the second season?
well, here's a little backstory for you.
Uh,
Powertown had approached myself and Matt Cardona to make action figures. That pre-order is already done, and those will be in people's hands by August or September of this year.
ooh,
So by the time your TNA Powertown Series 1 figures come out, you will have three members of the system in
yeah.
Powertown Wrestling action figure form. So I'm thrilled to, have people that I work with and love so much to get these figures, and know that, I know firsthand that it's a top tier, really quality product.
Yeah, for me, I've been with TNA for over 10 years now, and this is my first action figure. And, it's one of those bucket list things where I've always wanted one, especially now that I have a daughter and I have nieces and nephews. It's something that I want to be able to show, them and the rest of my family. Like, look, this is, I kind of made it. And it's kind of a symbol that you did make. You have an action figure. And, I think people aren't going to understand how much Brian has put into this whole process. So thank you to Brian for all of it. But yeah, I think everybody's pretty pumped that these are coming out soon.
And my new scheme is I'm trying to get a system 3-pack, little repaints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collectibles for sure. They're gonna be sold very, very fast. So make sure to get yours. I'm gonna
Pre-orders
say
live
some.
right now, powertownwrestling.com.
Ooh, then you can get it there. I know this guy will get it for sure. He's a huge fan of action figures, so it's a matter of time to have it in Puerto Rico. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I want to discuss something very quick. I'm gonna say something in Spanish. Under Siege de TNA Wrestling será este sábado 4 de mayo a las 8 de la noche. Va a ser en directo en el Washington Avenue Armory. Es en Albany, en Nueva York. Hay mucho boricua allí, hay mucho mexicano, hay mucho salvadoreño, colombiano. Todos los latinos, dense la vuelta. Hay mucho latino en Albany. Dense la vuelta ya. Los boletos están disponibles en tnawrestling.com y está disponible por pay-per-view a través de Fight TV. Al igual que eso, tienen sus próximos dos grandes eventos. Va a ser el 20 de julio. Sí, el más grande de todos los eventos. Slammiversary 20 de junio, directamente en el Auditorio Verdun en Montreal, en Quebec, en Canadá. Y además de eso, regresan a Chicago, donde un venue muy especial para los latinos, Cicero Stadium, con Against All Odds, el viernes 14 de junio a las 8 de la noche. Todos los eventos disponibles a través de Fight TV y para boletos tnawrestling.com. Let's discuss what's going to happen this weekend. An incredible match, an interesting pair for sure that none of us expected. Of all humans or creatures, Broken Matt Hardy entered to the picture, paired up with Speedball Mike Bailey and Trent Seven to face the system. Not in a million years I expected this match, and I couldn't be more excited to see this. We saw what happened to Nick Nemeth on the last show. He was attacked by the system. Ryan Nemeth couldn't do anything about it, basically. What can we expect from this match this Saturday at Under Siege? And are you excited to face Matt Hardy? I know you guys both have, I believe, faced him in the past, but it's something completely different for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime the system steps into the ring, we're looking forward to it. You know, what you can expect is more of the same domination. We are champions for a reason. It doesn't matter if broken Matt Hardy was gone for a year or 10 years. He comes back, things are different now. And ironically, you know, when I was back in the day when Matt was here, I beat him for the tag titles as well. So we do have a little history. It's been a while, but you know, things have changed around here. Me, Moose, and Myers, and Lish, we're running the show here. So Matt, he can try and delete us all he wants. That's fine. It's not going to happen. And Speedball Mountain, we already beat them, so they can hold on tight to those coattails of Matt Hardy into the main event, but it's not going to mean much.
And Matt Hardy is not broke because he's been stealing money from AW for years. So I can't wait to expose him as Speedball Mountain in the main event of Under Siege. I mean, these guys have never tagged before. And on the flip side, you have the system, the greatest six-man tag team in the world today. And I'll stand by that. Watch the matches that we've had the past 3-4 months. You know, they stand up with the best in the world. So they're in for it.
Pedro, you can continue.
You're now sitting on the top of the mountain of the tag division here in TNA Wrestling. You are both champions. Of if there's someone in the young roster or some young team you want to face in the near future?
Don't matter to me. That don't matter.
Wow, what a question.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You can put, there can be a team together already, or just put a couple random guys together. Our job is the same. It's not going to change our mentality the way we go out there. You know, we want to go out there and have the best matches possible and continue to be the champions. And I think that will be the case no matter who you put in the ring with us.
Yeah, I mean, my answer is very arrogant for this one because Eddie and I have very accomplished singles careers and very accomplished tag team careers. So we're two of the best tag team wrestlers of our generation, and now we're together working as one. So what's it going to take, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't want to be in there with some green as grass guy, you know, who's just starting out because they don't stand a chance. Like, we need real competition.
Pedro, I believe you have a question regarding tag teams that have already been establishing inside the TNA history.
We had seen teams like LAX. We have seen teams like the Motor City Machine Guns, Beer Money Inc. Are you aspiring to follow someone's footsteps, or are you creating your own pathway?
I'd say a little bit of both, right? You know, we want to be the best ever at TNA, but you know, in order to do that, we got to follow in those guys' footsteps to surpass what they did. And you nailed it. You know, Beer Money, Motor City Machine Guns. You know, there's some big shoes to fill, but I feel like these past 4 months we've really been on our way, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that we are literally just getting started. And you know, people think that maybe it was thrown together randomly. They didn't know what went on behind the scenes. You know, that me and Bryan are some of the best friends that could be, along with Moose and Lish. Like, there's stuff that goes into this that people don't see, and there's a reason that we work the way we do when we're in the ring, because we trust each other, we believe in each other, and I think that goes such a long way when you're out there having tag team matches or out there cutting a promo. We believe in what each other's saying, what we're doing, so we can have full trust in each other when we go out there. And this is just the beginning of it all. It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Eddie, this is basically like a double question, one for each. Eddie, how's been working with your real life wife, with your spouse? This is the person you're at home with. This is a person that goes to the groceries with you. This is a person that goes to pay the electric bill. She's also working with you and having the opportunity to create magic inside TNA. And at the same time, Bryan, your former work wife returned to TNA wrestling, and I'm speaking about Mr. Cardona for sure. Having the opportunity to do something separate from him, but at the same time knowing that, you know, he's there and he's rooting for you. How's been this experience for both of you?
Yeah, originally when Lish was going to be joining TNA or Impact at the time, of course, there's questions and concerns going into it because we lived together. Of course, we had our lives together, but work was a separate thing that we do. So anytime your spouse is going to be working with you, you're not sure what to expect. But honestly, it's been better than I could have ever hoped. You know what I mean? And I've been able to see her grow as the longer she's worked here and the more that she accomplishes. Now she has a tag title coming up. Like, I've been able to see her grow behind the scenes as well as in the ring, and we get to do it together. We get to have these shitty travel days together versus just me waking up at 3 in the morning. Now we get to do it together. So we can both be miserable together. We can go both enjoy the highs together. I think that's something that's pretty important to have somebody to share that with. And as well, I have Moose and Myers to share that with too. So it's even better.
Yeah, and I don't know how Eddie does it. I like having my life in two separate worlds that I live, but on the flip side, I gotta say Lish is the best. She's like the nanny of TNA wrestling, man. She looks after everybody. She's, if it's somebody's birthday or there's something to celebrate, she's on top of all that stuff in like the very best way because she's as real as it gets. So it's been awesome to, see them interact and, it's real, and I appreciate that. And Cardona and I are, we've known each other since we were 18 years old. We're never gonna, we're business partners now, tag team partner. I mean, that's something that's gonna be what it is until one of us is in the grave, and then even then some. I'm sure it'll live on.
Yeah.
So that is what it is, man.
Man, I appreciate both of your time. Let me say something in Spanish very quick before we wrap this up. Under Siege, sábado 4 de mayo, este sábado 8 de la noche, nuevamente en el Washington Avenue Armory en Albany, en Nueva York. Boletos disponibles a través de TNA Wrestling.com y de igual manera disponible por pay-per-view a través de Fight TV. No se lo pueden perder. The System se enfrenta a Speedball Mike Bailey, Trent Seven y Broken Matt Hardy en la lucha estelar de la noche. Adicional a esto tenemos Against All Odds, viernes 14 de junio, 8 de la noche en el Cicero Stadium en Chicago, Illinois. Si les gusta el Deep Dish Pizza, arranquen para allá, se comen un pedacito y disfrutan de The System y de TNA Wrestling en lo que es una de sus principales ciudades. Y de hecho es la ciudad de Ross. Ross es de Chicago. También van a estar disponibles el 20 de julio a las 8 de la noche en el Verdum Auditorium en Montreal, Quebec, Canadá, con Slammiversary. Todos los boletos disponibles en tnawrestling.com. Todos los pay-per-views disponibles a través de Fight TV. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor to have you here as our guest. Before we go, any last words to the Latin American fans out there so they can tune in this Saturday and see the System continue to dominate TNA wrestling?
I mean, you said it. Tune in and watch us dominate. That's what you're going to do. And, thank you for the support and thank you for the hate. And more importantly, pre-order those Pirate Sound action figures. Don't you forget.
Perfect. Let's wrap this up, pero en español. Right. Guru, Michael, Bryan Myers y Eddie Edwards para Lucha Libre Online en el Calce, porque en español nadie lo hace mejor. Nos vemos este sábado disfrutando de Under Siege en directo desde Albany.